folks, wanted to do a quick video here on what happens if you have an issue in your hatch and what should you do about it, and how can you safely help the chicks or get maybe a rotten egg out or do any of those things without compromising the eggs that are still trying to hatch. So one of the reasons why it's very important, in case you don't know me, I'm Jill from Pigment and Plume Farms. I'm a veteran and I have a day job but decided to start raising quail and raise awareness for how folks can be more self-sufficient, and that's hopefully what I'm trying to teach everyone with my videos. So let's move on to the story. So yesterday I had a couple of chicks hatch out. I had 5 initially. So I had 3 valley quail and 2 Coturnix. And what was important about that is as I was checking on them and making sure everything was okay, I saw something black kind of coming out from one of the eggs. Initially my thought was, oh no, this is a bad egg, it might explode in the incubator. So I wanted to take action and try to get the egg out of there in the event that it was bad. Long story short, it turned out that the egg was just fine, but I took the process of doing that. All 5 of the chicks that were early hatchers, so they were the strong, virulent ones, I decided to go ahead and take them out as well, as they were fluffy and dry and basically ready to go into the brooder. So the challenge when you want to remove chicks from the incubator, and there's still chicks that need to hatch, they haven't picked yet, is that if the humidity is disrupted, i.e. it drops too low, the chicks that are trying to hatch and have not hatched out yet can actually get what's called shrink wrapped inside of the egg and be unable to hatch at all. And you can end up hurting your hatch. So this is why hatching, you need to have patience with these babies. You need to just kind of let nature take its course. Our human instinct is to want to save, want to help, want to intervene. And you really have to kind of allow nature to take its place. If you do feel so inclined to intervene, that is a personal choice and a decision, but you have to recognize that very risk that you may compromise the rest of the eggs in the hatch. So that is my big warning. If you do, however, this tip has worked for me. So what you do is make sure you're incubating in the bathroom, or you have moved your incubator into the bathroom. This will disrupt the humidity and the temperature for a second, the moment of time of travel, but it should be able to hold homeostasis within the incubator. It's enclosed for that brief period of time where you're maybe transferring to the bathroom if you did not start incubating in there to begin with, if you don't have a spare bathroom, for instance. Move it in there. Turn the shower on hot. Wait till you see fog in your mirrors and that the room is like steamy. Then you can open your incubator, and you need to act fast. You need to grab whatever chicks that are already hatched and dry. No, do not remove chicks that are not dry. That can also cause them to die because they get too cold. They need to maintain, you know, that heat and the humidity to dry off, and then you can take them out. So if they're not dry, you need to leave them in there. If they are dry, you can take them out, but act fast. And then if there is a bad egg or something else like that, you can take the egg out. But again, it's personal choice, and you do have to use judgment. There are schools of thought that say, you know, if you intervene, it's survival of the fittest. Maybe that egg wasn't supposed to hatch. Maybe that will be a sickly chick that would just have died anyway. Maybe the chick has other kinds of deformity problems that if you're trying to be a breeder that's selling eggs to people, you would end up not wanting in your breeding program anyway, and now it's another mouth to feed. As you know, these are all considerations. I'm not telling you not to do it. That is your choice, but those are just things that you have to think through. I have had situations where I have saved chicks. I will try to do another video on that specifically. And those chicks are fine today. They are doing great. They're thriving. One of them I thought was the runt is actually now a normal size. So to me, it's not indicative that they can't survive, but there are very real dangers. I will follow up in part 2 some of those dangers. Thanks for watching.